Dr. Rotziger. Dr. Rotziger. Dr. Rotziger.
Good evening, Mr. Noel Gallagher.
How you doing? Yes, boy.
We've missed that music, haven't we? We haven't had it for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, tune.
Have you missed it?
Not really.
I didn't find it on the on your latest album. No, I'm sure you promised us that.
It's on there. It's on there. If you spin it backwards.
Is it a hidden cookie, an Easter egg?
It is indeed.
That's what they're called. How are you, sir? You all right?
I'm very well, and you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Listen, before we talk about the game yesterday, we haven't spoken since New Year.
Yeah.
But is that right?
That's when the last time we spoke, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, what did you do New Year's Eve? How did you spend New Year's Eve first?
I had a party round at my house.
No, that you wouldn't have. I mean, I would have got an invite to that, surely.
You would have, but you didn't.
Who was there? Was it a big party? Was it just a smaller?
No. There was about 10 or 12. There wasn't anybody famous there. Just me.
And was it a last minute thing? Because I get the impression that you're one of these people going, oh, let's just invite a few mates round and.
No. Sarah had organised it a few weeks in advance, but it was all right. We just had a bite to eat and just got drunk. There might have been a bit of dancing. Not by me, I might add.
Did the guitar come out at any stage?
No, I never get the guitar out.
Do you never do
ever.
that?
Never. No. And I tell you why. People used to always say to me, "Oh, get the guitar out," and you'd go, "No," and they'd beg you and beg. Oh, all right then. And as soon as you get it out, they start talking amongst themselves, and you'd sit there like an idiot, going, "Well, what do you want to hear then?" And they'd be like forgotten about it in 2 minutes.
So it didn't come out. Okay. And what time did it finish?
After 2, 3 o'clock, we had the kids in and all that, so you can't really get that mad these days.
Do you still allow the kids to drink or not?
They've got their own stash. They can't go near Dad's Thunderbird.
Now, before yesterday's game took place, there was another game that City were involved with that we haven't spoken about, which was obviously the one away to Sunderland.
Yeah.
So, with that result in mind, obviously City lost in that one. How have your thoughts been towards your team winning the Premier League? Because I guess up until that moment, you thought it was a dead certainty, but that sort of, I'm guessing, brought you back down to ground a bit.
And the draw before then. They drew the game before that as well, didn't they?
Down to earth, I should say. So, did that change your view on how your season was going to go, that result?
You don't... Drawing away from home was not so bad. I didn't expect to get beat by Sunderland, particularly in the manner that we did, but it's not really changed my perspective at all up until yesterday, and if I had any doubts about the quality of the spirit in the squad that was blown away yesterday.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that game. Firstly, did you go?
I did, yes.
Am I right in saying you sat next to Norman Whiteside? Have I got that right?
I was sat beside, not beside him, but
close to him.
He was in the box next to us. Yeah,
okay.
He actually turned up with his boots because he heard they were letting any old Tom, Dick and Harry on.
I saw Phelan warming up at one stage on the touchline.
Well, all I'm saying is Steve Bruce is at a loose end.
Well, hold on now. Listen, obviously you're referring to Scholesy there. In all fairness, he did play apart from giving away the goal. Old Satnav was incredible. It was so nice for him to be the Carrick. All of a sudden, looked half decent.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as say he was incredible, but if I'm Anderson and I'm sat on the bench and Ferguson's sending on a player who's been retired for 8 months before me, it doesn't really say much about Anderson, does it?
No, that would be quite worrying. But at the same time, maybe he retired too early.
Well, no, by his own admission, his legs have gone. He can't. In the mid-season break, be given extensive and detailed reasons for why he couldn't do it anymore, and then all of a sudden say, "Well, actually, I'm still brilliant." Do you know what I mean? But he was blowing in the last 10 minutes, wasn't he? But I guess for you, Mob, it's good to see him back. It's a bit of a, I don't know. It's a bit laughable, really, isn't it?
Why is it laughable? You brought on Owen Hargreaves.
Yeah, well, the thing about that is you. Man United are desperate for a central midfielder, and that just goes to tell me that you ain't got any cash left. Not you personally, you're perennially skint, but the club in itself are not in a position to buy anybody. No, not that there's anybody available, but that's never stopped United before.
Now, let's talk about the big controversial decision to send off Vincent Kompany. I think it was a red card. I can see where the referee sent it off. You go back 20 years ago, you get a new contract for a tackle like that, but in the modern game, it's a red card.
I actually thought, to be honest, it was one of the best tackles I'd ever seen. And at the time, it was right in front of me, and I've only watched it back this morning. I thought it was a great tackle. I thought when he went to his pocket, he was definitely going to get booked for it, and I thought it was, in today's climate, a definite yellow card. But the reaction of everybody in the stadium, all 50,000 people, wherever it was, said it all. There was a gasp when the red card came out. And I think it was a shocking decision.
But can you understand, because the letter of the law says stud showing 2 feet at the same time you have to go. So can you understand why he produced the red card?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But look at it this way. Even Nani, right, peels for if the wind's blowing too strong, he's got his hand in the air. If his shorts are flapping in the wrong direction, he's moaning. Even Nani wasn't bothered, and it was only I wouldn't say that Rooney changed Chris Foy's mind, but he was straight into the referee's face. I thought it was going to be a yellow card, and I watched it back today. You could send him off if he's got the ball and gone through the play. He didn't even touch the player. But I stand stood showing, and he's got his backside off the ground. He's going in 2-footed. I can understand it, but really, I thought it was a great tackle.
Did it hurt the result? I know you had 10 men, and I know you played so well in the second half, and could have come back to at least get the equaliser. But bearing in mind that you are FA Cup champions or defending champions at the moment, that you're out, you lost against your neighbours. Did that hurt? No,
I mean, I said before the game, if we go out today, it's not a disaster anyway, because we won the cup last year. We don't really need a long cup run and all that. And saying that, I do hope United go all the way to the final and get beat now. I think it would have been nice to win and maybe to go out the next round. But I've got to say, I've never been as proud as I have at the final whistle yesterday, because I thought the least we deserved was a draw. And people are forgetting we not only played with 10 men, we might as well have played with 9 men for all Adam Johnson done and for all Nasri done after him, because they might as well have not turned up, either of them. So I think in the second half, I think Mancini's got to take a lot of credit for playing 5 at the back and hitting them on the break. And I thought Aguero was brilliant, but I've got to say I felt more distraught after the Sunderland result than that yesterday. I thought we were great yesterday.
When you look at the way the game started, you started the better side, and Man United's first attack, a fantastic header from Rooney, and then minutes later you get the red card. I don't think Manchester City actually recovered for that until half-time, and that's when Mancini made the subs, and that's when Man City started to play.
I think emotionally it done everybody in. I think if Lescott would have gone off, or anybody else on the pitch, I think Vinny is such a massive player for us, more so than Yaya in a way. And I think the biggest thing now is we're losing for 4 games. I think that is going to really test our credentials for the league title. And you're forgetting we had Barry out yesterday, Yaya, and Vinny for most of the game. We acquitted ourselves brilliantly, and I just think that the biggest loss of it all yesterday wasn't the game, and it wasn't the fact we've gone out the cut. It's the fact we're going to lose company for 4 games now. I think that's a major disaster.
Do you still fancy the title, knowing that he's missing? You've got players away on African Nations Cup.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to stay top now. I think we may even go 3 or maybe 4 points off the top at some point, because Yaya's going to be away for 7 games and Vinny for 4. We've got to play. I think the Tottenham game is a big one now at home. But I still think in the running, when it comes down to it, between April and May, I still think we can do it. And I think that yesterday proved that United are going to come to us on April the 23rd, and they're going to get an absolute hiding.
No, I'd done the phone in yesterday here, and every Man City fan that I spoke to said that the second half performance was one of the proudest they've ever seen of a Manchester City side, and that performance underlines how good they can be with 10 men, and they said how bad Manchester United can be with 11 men, and they said that's going to be the half that wins them the Premier League title.
Well, I have to say, as good as City were in the second half, I think the main thing about that second half was how poor United were. I don't know a Man United fan, and well, I do. I know loads of them, and we've been kind of texting and all that. They were quite shocked at that second half performance. That at half time, I was fearing we'd get beat 5 or 6, and I think the difference in the two teams is, at Old Trafford when United went down to 10 men, he just demolished them. And I think Ferguson after the game got it right when he said, "How does this bode well for the rest of the season?" He said, "Does us no good at all." And if he's saying that to the players, in the players' heads, they probably don't think they're good enough, And I think the running is going to be immense now. I think we're going to get the greatest title running that we've had for maybe a decade.
Do you care about the Europa League?
I think we'll meet him in the Europa League again. I bet you any money. I think this is the season of City and United. Big games all the way now.
But do you care about if you don't meet in the Europa League, but you go all the way and get beat in the final or the semi-final? Do you care about it? I mean, surely if someone would have said to you 3 years ago, FA Cup winners the following year, Europa League Cup winners the following year, whatever, you'd take that. I mean, that's progression, isn't it?
I would have taken it if we were fourth in the league, but the way it is now, we don't need all those other games. And I think between City and United, I think it'll be either who blinks first in that league. I think Mancini and Ferguson would not be too bothered if they went out in the next round.
No, I agree.
Because it's a pivotal moment in Manchester football history now this season. It's also a pivotal moment for English football because I don't think City will ever have a better chance of winning it this season because of United are in a position of transition. Chelsea rubbish, Liverpool rubbish, Arsenal are still got all their old faults. I think if we don't win it this season, it'll be a major cock-up. Can we say cock-up?
Yeah, we can say it twice if you want.
No, Mark Hughes looks like he's about to take over the reins at Loftus Road. Of course, he was your manager. How will he go down as in the list of honour at Manchester City for the managers? And what sort of job do you think he'll do?
Well, I think in the case of City, he was under a lot of pressure. But I think his legacy is Vincent Kompany because he bought him. And he bought Zabaleta, and if I'm not mistaken, he bought Nigel de Jong as well. So those three great players.
Barry? Did he bring Barry as well?
I think he might have brought Gareth Barry as well. Yeah, I think he bought some great players that are still like mainstays in the team. So he done all right for us, and we all loved him there.
Now, listen, before we let you go, a few Ask Noels for you. Is that all right? People,
of course.
Peter Jackson wants to know, if you had to make love to another man, who would it be?
I think it might have to be Balotelli. I hereby state that I'd do it.
This is my question, actually, talking of Cundy, because very rarely do I put one. What do you make of Jason Cundy's glasses? You've obviously seen him on the telly. Do you like them? Are you a fan of them?
After the Man United demolition by Newcastle the night, I thought I'll watch it because it's always nice. Yeah. United are in chaos and all that. And I turned it on and I just went, hang on a minute. What? Who's that? And I was like, hang on a minute, someone's got a Mr. Potato idea. Christmas has gone mental. And it's like, oh, it's actually, yeah, it is. I switched it off in there. I just couldn't take it seriously.
I still haven't. I got a text from him last week about you. I've not. Can I show it to him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah.
These would go well with your leather jacket, Noel.
Hey, he was on the other week, and I was saying to you were saying somewhere that was really getting on my nerves when I was away in the States. Remember what it was is when you were going on about you were all right, Chelsea being rubbish as long as they're showing progression. And it's like
that's right.
A nonsense argument.
Listen, listen, totally misquoted. I don't want to go down again. Goldstein and I fell out over that one.
It was properly winding me up.
Cool, he's talking absolute rubbish and nonsense.
Absolutely, they are.
Let me tell you, I'll take fourth now. I'll take anyone's hand off for fourth.
And you still class that as progression from second?
No, I said before, the squad that ended last season has got to be different and showing signs of a younger squad, evolution at the
Noel
beginning
Gallagher
of next season.
Yeah, no, it's nonsense, Cundy. It's nonsense. It's not. They're not showing any progression at all. Progression.
Phone up next time on Sky now.
Yeah, well, only if you don't wear those glasses.
I'll take them off for you.
No, you're a star as always. We'll speak to you soon.